Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the Moonlight and Outdoors podcast. If you hadn't already, please go on over and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as our Instagram and Facebook. Thanks, guys. Hey, everyone. Today we have another really special show. I know that I say that just about every time, but we've been having some pretty awesome guests on lately. Today we have Kaitlyn Maus, and she's all over social media. I was quite surprised when I went to check her out when Brett here said, "Hey, I think I've got a good candidate for one of our upcoming podcasts. Check her out. It's Kaitlyn Maus. Look her up, Kaitlyn Maus Outdoors." And I did, and she's got quite the following. So first off, that's pretty awesome that you're able to be such an influence in the industry. So good for you.
I try.
It's pretty awesome. But we're going to talk to her just about some of her hunting experiences and some of the things that's led her to where she is today. And we did bring another little guest in from one of our old shows that's going to talk to Kaitlyn as well. So hopefully you guys will stay tuned for that. But first off, Kaitlyn, if you would just do just a quick introduction of yourself, where you're from, that kind of stuff.
So I am originally from Pennsylvania, but I went to college in Missouri. And so I've kind of been in the Midwest. I lived in Missouri for a while, then Kansas for a year, and now I'm in Iowa as of this year. So that's pretty exciting. But I primarily deer hunt, turkey hunt. Bow hunting is like my favorite thing, but I'm always willing to try whatever. And I don't know, I like it all. So that's my thing.
So, what life event occurred that made this such a big part of your life?
Honestly, there really wasn't like one thing. I guess it was just kind of a combination of things in my life. My dad's just like the one who got me into it. He's a huge deer hunter, and he took me out since I could walk pretty much. So that's always just been a part of my life. And then like the filming and photography side of things, I've just always like had an interest in that and like enjoyed it. And I got a camera when I was young and kind of just put the two and two together. And my dad like wanted to film for like memories. So that's just kind of how I started filming my hunts. And once I moved to the Midwest, the hunting compared to Pennsylvania was way different and way better. So I don't know, just kind of took off and I started traveling more and I just enjoy it. So it's just been like a thing that I kept going.
I was thinking that you were going to say it had something to do with your dad because when I was checking you out on Facebook and things, I scrolled down and I saw your Father's Day post, and I could just tell by that photo that he might be partially responsible for for you where you're at today.
It's all his fault.
That's awesome. Well, I'm going to turn it over to Brett. I know we got a few things we were wanting to cover, so go ahead.
You're talking about growing up in Pennsylvania. How much different is the deer hunting in Pennsylvania compared to here in the Midwest?
Oh gosh, like insanely different. First of all, I guess like there were years that I would go and I wouldn't see a single buck all season in PA. So like just different. But I think the biggest thing is like the hunting pressure. I'm pretty sure Pennsylvania is the number one pressured state. So I don't know, I guess just dealing with so many people and we mostly hunted public. We had some access to private, but for the most part it was public land. So just, we'd always run into guys and just not as many deer. So coming out here, it was like, I don't know, world flipped upside down literally because way less people. I mean, you're still going to have hunting pressure, but I still hunt a lot of public. So I can kind of compare the two and it's just so different. It's so crazy.
So, I've watched a lot of your videos on YouTube and you talk about the public land hunting, public versus private kind of thing. Like, do you prefer public land hunting or would you rather have a 1,000-acre lease somewhere?
I mean, I don't know really. Like I said, most of my experience is on public, so that's kind of just like what I know. And when I moved to the Midwest, I didn't know anyone out here, so I kind of just had to start from ground zero. and just find land. So that's kind of just like been what I focused on. And obviously now that I'm like filming and like have a bit of a following, people enjoy the public land stuff. So like, I don't really have an issue with it. And part of the fun for me is like putting the pieces together and figuring out deer and, you know, and then hopefully being successful at the end of it. I feel like that's like super rewarding. But I don't have an issue with private. Like I've hunted, you know, private ground. And now that I'm in Iowa, we actually have a lease this year. So I'll have a little bit of a mixture of content this year. But I guess I just have more experience with public. So that's just what I tend to go towards.
Right. Actually, it was one of my questions on here. You had posted a video about your new Iowa lease, and give us a little info on that.
Specifically the coordinates on how to get there.
Yeah.
I saw some of your trail cam photos.
Let me just send you a pin real fast. So there's 4 of us on it. It's 640 acres, which is way more than I thought it was. Like once we got in there walking around on it, it's like kind of overwhelming, but we kind of just found it by chance. Moving to Iowa was kind of like, I don't know, Iowa's where the big deer are. So if you're someone that's like kind of in the industry, that just like, I don't know, makes sense. So we thought we would have an easier time finding ground, but it's actually very cutthroat. I mean, it's either leased out by farmers or everybody's just buying ground left and right. So we kind of got lucky with this. A friend of ours was like, hey, there's like an auction. You want to go check it out? And we bid on it, and luckily we got it. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of like where we're at. We just got it like the last month. So we've only got cameras out, haven't really done much else with it. So that's going to be the next few weeks, but we're pretty excited. Obviously, if you guys have seen some photos, there's some good ones so far. So
my favorite is Thumbkin.
Thumbs, yeah.
At least you don't have to mess with the point system anymore.
Yeah, I mean, well, that was like the thing. So like my boyfriend's from Michigan, and I was in Kansas, Missouri. So it was like kind of our meet in the middle state because you have to draw, obviously. So it was like, well, we can live in Iowa and then still hunt everywhere else, mostly. So made
I've been
sense.
trying for about the past 5 years to get in on that deal. Mm-hmm. Still, it doesn't pan out for me ever.
Yeah, I know. The point system is like such a, I don't know, pain, but it makes sense. So
it does. It helps them grow them big deer.
You said he's in Michigan?
He's from Michigan. We live together now.
Okay. So he's hunting with you on the lease.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Him, and then we have two of our friends are on it. So
is there any kind of competition between the two of you?
Oh, I mean, yes and no. I wouldn't say like competition between us as far as like hunting, but I mean, like he's got a channel and everything. So it's difficult when we're both trying to like film for our own individual channels and we're on like the same piece.
What's
so
his
like that's a struggle. But aside from that, it's all good.
What's his channel? I'm going to check it out too.
Chris B.
It's Chris B?
Mm-hmm. B-E-E.
Oh, Chris B.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We'll check that out. Chris B Outdoors.
I think it's just Chris.
Chris B, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. We will check that out.
So, public land. I'm not much of a public land hunter. I'm lucky enough to have some private places here in Indiana. I've done a little bit of private land turkey hunting, which in Indiana is not any fun. But what are some tips you can give for some people that maybe are wanting to try some public land that you've been successful off of, or, you know, something that might help them out?
Well, I guess how I started was I use Onyx maps like super heavily. And I think that is like really the main push for me to like travel, because I have like this opportunity in front of me to like find so many different pieces. So that is definitely something I would recommend starting with. There's a bunch of different mapping apps. It's not like you have to use Onyx, but Onyx has quite literally saved my life in a few situations where there's no service and there's bears around and all kinds of stuff. So I live and die by Onyx. But yeah, I pretty much just like use that. And I learn as I go, but I obviously have a basic knowledge of hunting to, going into it. So I just, find pieces on there that look good. And then if I can, I go and put boots on the ground and walk it and check it out in person. And, if the sign's there, the sign's there. If it's not, it's not. So you kind of just got to, like I said earlier, it's like a puzzle piece and you just got to put the pieces together. So I definitely would recommend starting with some kind of map and going from there.
As far as this year with your guys' social and your pages and everything, do you have any big travel plans, or is it just going to be strictly Iowa and Pennsylvania, maybe a little bit of Missouri?
Yeah, I've got a few. I'm going to be starting in Kentucky. I'm going to try to do a velvet hunt.
Same.
Yeah, nice. I've never done it, so we'll see.
We're in the same boat then.
So then after that, I have an antelope hunt in Wyoming. I drew a tag this year, so that's probably going to be a rifle hunt. A friend of mine, her uncles and we always do like a hunt together every year. So that's just going to be our hunt. And then I'll probably bounce between Missouri and Iowa for a few weeks. And then potentially Oklahoma for the rut. I was going to do Kansas, but I didn't draw this year. So Oklahoma might replace that. And then I typically do Pennsylvania late season. So there may or may not be a few more mixed in there by the time fall comes around, but that's probably like the tentative plan for now. So
for what I'm hearing, it sounds like you're doing this full time then.
I mean, pretty much. I've got apparel that I'm trying to work my way into right now. So that helps a little bit, but yeah, right now I pretty much do this. I used to bartend. So I would bartend and work my butt off all summer, save my money up, and then I would just hunt all fall. But now that we moved, I just haven't gone back to that. And, I have more opportunities the more I grow. So, yeah.
I was trying to think about how I would tell my boss that I was going to hunt in Kentucky and Iowa and Pennsylvania and Oklahoma. And I just don't think that's in my future. But
yeah,
but I'll be following you and definitely living through you on that. So
whereabouts in Kentucky are you going?
I'm thinking the western part of the state somewhere. I've been slacking a little bit with trying to figure that out, but
gotcha. I didn't know if you were going to a certain outfitter or somebody that was hooking you up.
Oh, no. Just public.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We actually, one of our latest podcasts, 3 shows ago or so, we interviewed a guy named Brian from Buck Tags Unlimited. And he's kind of just starting with social media and YouTube and stuff. And he's invited me down to do some filming for him down there. And that's where I find myself most of the time, behind the camera anyway. So it was exciting to me. I've never got to see these Kentucky bucks in velvet.
Yeah.
And I'm super pumped about it, really.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited. I just wanted to do something early on, and obviously Kentucky comes in early. So I was like, well, this makes sense. And I don't have to worry about trying to hunt 3 different states at the same time because nothing else is in. So we'll see.
Definitely check out this Buck Tags Unlimited before you go down there. There's this plug, but he's a very interesting guy, and he seems to know his stuff. You might pick something up from it.
Okay, we'll
have
do.
A little inside luck.
What made you chose Oklahoma for the rut?
They're one of the only states that doesn't have a rifle season overlapping the rut, at least in that section of the country. And last year, Chris and I did Kansas, and we both shot really good bucks. He shot a 180. So we were like, okay, Kansas again, but we didn't draw. So we were just trying to find something within the general Midwest, and Oklahoma's one that we're not already hunting. So kind of just made sense with the way the season's laid out.
The way we interacted was on YouTube, and I had commented on your saddle hunting video. Explain to me exactly how you got into that. Was it just something that you wanted to try, or other people were doing it? What exactly led you using saddles?
So I saw the buzz around it for a while, But, I watched a few videos, but it was kind of just like slowly emerging. There wasn't a whole lot about it. But with the way I hunt, like, and I'm always moving around and going to different pieces of public and different states. I mean, I've kind of perfected my craft, I guess, over the years of just trying different strategies of mobility. But I've found that saddle hunting is literally like such a game changer. And I hate using that term, but like it really is for me, at least in the way I hunt, because it's like so lightweight. There's not all this like bulkiness. Like I don't have to carry a stand in and out all the time, or, these big heavy sticks. And so that's kind of just like how I was interested. And, Tethered actually reached out to me. And so they sent me some stuff, and I was just trying it out, and I loved it. And so now like I'm working with them, which is, I'm super fortunate in that aspect. But I mean, I still stand hunt, but it's kind of hard to go back to that because I really like saddle hunting now. So
when you say stand hunts, is that at lock-ons or?
Yeah, typically my first year out, and this is, so like as a kid, I never hunted out of a tree stand. It just wasn't like, we didn't really do that. So tree stand hunting was like a new thing for me at like college age. So I had a ladder stand that I bought from Walmart, like a single man ladder stand that I used to carry like a mile back in and set up and everything. And I shot a deer out of it, and I was like so excited, but I'm like, man, this is such a pain in the butt. Like, I'm not a very big person either. So it's like trying to get the thing to stand up was just such a pain. So I was like, okay, screw this. And then I bought a lock-on, and then kind of just went from there, but mostly lock-ons because that's obviously more mobile. But yeah, the saddle thing has just been great.
So with everything that you've come into with your channel and everything, is it something that somebody's going to be filming you, or are you still going to stick to self-filming?
I prefer self-filming. I really like going by myself and kind of just getting away and like doing my own thing. And if something goes wrong, I can't blame anyone but myself. But I mean, with the growth that I'm having, I probably need someone to film me, at least sometimes. Like in Iowa, I'll probably have someone film me, just because. But I don't know. I'm going to try to stick with self-filming, but I'm open to kind of whatever the situation calls for. So,
right. Well, coming from experience, you definitely got to find that perfect person to have that relationship with, because you spend a lot of time with them.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to get, you get a chemistry going. Like me and Ryan, the past few years with the whole filming thing, we know we're on each other's level. We figured it out before, the other person figures it out.
Yeah, for sure.
You wouldn't want me filming for you. I get into my snacks too much.
Okay, I'm actually guilty of that too. I'm like,
yeah.
I pick like the noisiest things to bring with me too, and I'm like trying to like slowly open it, and it's like dead calm. I'm like, sounds like a leaf. It's fine.
I don't make near as much noise at home. I don't understand.
Right.
I remember one year I forgot to go to the grocery store, and because I always buy special tree stand snacks, right? So I got into my pantry. I'm looking around. I'm like, damn it, I didn't get any. So I grabbed a box of Fruit Loops and dumped them in a Ziploc bag. I was sitting in my climber, and I was munching on Fruit Loops, and it was bow season too. So I don't know what the heck I was thinking, but yeah.
Nice.
Hey, while we're at it, give us some tree stand snack pointers. You said you're a snacker.
Oh gosh. Okay, well, granola bars are like my staple. Like that, like I pretty much survive off of those. But then like I like fudge rounds, like the oatmeal cookie things, beef jerky, obviously. And then I'm like the kind of person I like fruit gushers and like
oh yeah, we're on the same page.
She's speaking my language.
Absolutely. She got fat boy language going on.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Do you use any type of like hydrating pack or anything to drink, or you just bring like a bottle of water?
I mean, I usually bring a bottle of water.
Same.
Yeah. Whatever's like the lightest weight I can bring is like what I bring.
Yeah.
So
you were talking a little bit about some of these companies that have reached out to you. What's some companies or sponsors that you're currently working with?
Well, Onyx is one, Tethered. As of this year, I'm working with Bushnell. So that's pretty exciting. And then I also have a bow shop that I do like some writing for and like articles and video stuff. Corbin's Archery. He's down in Texas. But as of now, those are just the ones that I work with. I'm really selective in who I work with. I'm not just like chasing a check. I want to work with companies that I believe in, that believe in me and have good products and, all are just good all around, and stuff that I have experience with. Like I won't just wear whatever just because someone tells me to wear it. So I'm pretty picky with that. So I try to keep my sponsorships, I guess, small. So
that's pretty cool. So, I know that I talked earlier about having a special guest in the studio with us today. I'm going to go ahead and introduce her and get our cameraman off the sofa. What are you doing back there, man? Good job. We're supposed to miss your cue. But we're going to pan over to Maddie, who, Maddie, how old are you?
14.
14 years old. There's Maddie.
Keep
going. This is our cameraman's first time, so Maddie,
so
you're
you can
sitting
move
behind
if you
the.
want. Get her in there.
You're sitting behind the thing here. We're getting there. Here we go. And by the way, Mason is on the camera, and he'll come to Iowa and film for you if you'd like.
Buddy, you're gonna have to turn it.
Keep going a little more.
Keep going.
There she is.
There you go.
Kaitlyn, are you froze up on us? There she is. Okay. I was going to tell you, Mason. He's hireable if you want him to come out and film for you.
He's fired already.
Yeah. He was the one that just panned the camera over. But Maddie, she actually came on our show back in, was it November?
November or December? No, it was December.
Okay, December. And she was actually on the show because she had taken a nice buck, and we wanted to bring her on our Young Gun show and talk to her and interview her about it. And when I knew that, Kaitlyn, when you had finally agreed to come on the show, I knew that you had to be an influence to females in the hunting industry, and I thought there'd be no greater time to bring Maddie in, and maybe you'd have some inspirational words for her, and she could just talk to you a little bit about your success and different things like that. So, Maddie?
Okay, so I have a few questions for you. One was, like, when you go hunting, do you always film all your hunts or just some of them?
I try to film all of them. It doesn't always work out. But for the most part, I try not to shoot anything if I'm not going to get it on camera. I've definitely passed on deer, because they weren't on film, but I mean, that's just because I have a YouTube and I try to get as much content out as I can. And I feel like it's if I take everyone along for the journey, they feel like they're a part of it. And so I like to share every aspect that I can, whether or not I shoot something that day or not. So I try to, yeah.
Yeah. So another question I have is, when you go hunting, what's your favorite animal to hunt for?
Oh, deer, for sure. That's my favorite.
And I was watching some of your YouTube videos, and you definitely prefer bow over gun, don't you?
Yeah, so as a kid, I rifle hunted because that was just where I lived. Bow hunting wasn't a big thing. So I always rifle hunted, but as I got older, I wanted to get into bow hunting, and I got a crossbow when I was your age. And so I shot my first buck with that. And, so I liked that archery side of things. And then obviously I got, a compound bow, and I don't know, I like the archery season better, and you get more time to hunt too. So, yeah, I like bow hunting for sure. It's my favorite.
I just got my first crossbow for Christmas, and I'm hoping to get one this year with it.
Were you the one that messaged me?
No.
Okay. Someone messaged me that same thing that they just got a crossbow for Christmas.
Hope it wasn't me.
Okay.
I got one for Father's Day.
What?
A crossbow?
You
Yeah.
did?
Yes, I did.
You ain't using that thing.
Is there any YouTubers or just a female hunter that really inspires you?
That's a good one.
That was a good one.
Oh gosh. Honestly, like as a kid, I used to look up to like just, the big names on TV, like, Tiffany, Eva Shockey. But honestly anymore, not as much. And I think it's because I feel like all the girls that are more my age that are trying to be a part of it aren't really in it for the right reasons, I feel. They kind of just want to make it about themselves and not the outdoors. So not really. So I'm trying to like pave the way for that and just, make it that girl, but, also be in the outdoors and not really like have to flaunt themselves. So I don't know.
Good.
So do you have anybody that like doubts you on stuff about the outdoors because you're a girl?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And it's crazy to me because I feel like a lot of them are like keyboard warriors, like they're just at home saying something because they can. But I also feel like it's because I'm a girl that a lot of guys especially feel the need to just say something, but they would never say that to a dude. So I find it really interesting. But I mean, haters just come with the territory. It's just part of it. And, I try not to let that bother me too much. So, but yeah, a lot.
Haters gotta hate.
Yeah, haters gonna hate. You just have to prove them wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
Do you have anybody that tried to like steer you away from that in family? Like my mom, she always like says, find something more girly instead of hunting.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we don't need none of that.
No.
We need to have her on the show.
I mean, not really. My mom's not into. Dad obviously is. So like she never really had an issue with it. So she never like said like, oh, you probably shouldn't do that. But I mean, I am into girly stuff too. Like I like makeup and like dressing up and like going out with friends and stuff like that too. But I enjoy hunting, and so that's just like a part of my life, and they accept that. So I really haven't had too many issues, and they think it's cool now. Like they watch my videos. So like to me, that's kind of weird, but like they think it's cool. So I'll take it.
Pretty neat.
So over your time of hunting, have you really faced any challenges of finding equipment that fits you correctly?
She's
Oh, yeah.
asking better questions. I'm just going to hand the microphone
She
to her
has
from
great
now on.
questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Clothing, I would say, is the biggest thing. And I'm 5'2", like, so I'm short and I'm small. So as a kid, I would always wear like boys stuff. And I think the options might be a little bit better now, and they're slowly coming out with more women's stuff. But even still, a lot of the stuff that I wear is like stuff that's like youth larges and extra larges because I'm so small.
This is cheaper.
It is cheaper. Yeah, for sure. But then I end up with like mixed match. Like I'll have an Under Armour shirt and like Realtree pants or something. So I don't always match. But I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'd say clothing is like the biggest thing, or like finding like a release, like for my wrist. I have really small wrists. So like I have to get like youth wrist straps and like stuff like that. So, but I've been adapting.
When you first shot your first deer, how old were you?
I was 12, and it was a doe with a rifle.
What state?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
In the snow.
Ooh, that's awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Out of all
Yeah.
your states you've hunted out of, which one has been your favorite to hunt?
Oh, I would say probably, oh gosh, I want to say Kansas because I've always had like really good luck in Kansas. I've shot a bunch of turkeys in Kansas. I've shot my biggest buck in Kansas. Every time I've been to Kansas, I've come home with something. So like, I would say that's probably my favorite, and just the terrain and everything is just really cool to hunt in. So probably Kansas.
That's awesome.
Well, you answered most of my questions.
They were great. They were really good.
So, Kaitlyn, what kind of advice do you have for Maddie and other young girls that are trying to step up and do something like what you're doing?
Well, I mean, if you really enjoy it, stick with it. You know, don't listen to the haters. Don't listen to the naysayers or someone who tells you can't do it just because you're a girl. Obviously, you can. You know, and if you have a passion for it, then just do it. I mean, I did it just because I really like it, and it's grown into way more than I could have ever expected. So you never know. You can get some opportunities out of it, and if not, you're still having fun. So stick with it.
I got something real good too. What kind of advice do you have for Maddie's mother?
Let her be herself.
There you go. Let her be herself.
There we go.
I know your mom's gonna send Kaitlyn some hate mail. Haters gonna hate.
That's
Right?
okay. That's okay. I'll stick up for you.
That's awesome. So, Kaitlyn, it means a lot that you would take the time to talk with Maddie. I know that she's Maddie came on our show, and you need to watch that too.
I will.
I'll send you the link to Maddie's video, and it's pretty entertaining because she's got a brother that was almost the star of that show, who was also the cameraman just then. But it was quite entertaining, and there was a little sibling rivalry going on, and I was kind of poking the bear with it to make it much worse. But
That's awesome. I'll definitely check it out.
That's great.
Kaitlyn, tell everybody where they can find you at on social media.
Well, my Instagram just my Instagram is my name. So Kaitlyn Maus, Maus. And then Facebook and YouTube are Kaitlyn Maus Outdoors.
Awesome.
And I also have a TikTok, but I'm really bad at TikTok. I'm trying to get better.
We just got in the TikTok game. I saw
I'm so bad.
the potential for it.
There's a lot. Yes.
There's a lot of potential for it. We
Yeah.
actually made a quick video on TikTok, just messing around here in the studio before you came on, saying that we were having you on, and it was podcast night. You know.
Sweet. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to get better, but I don't know. I'm
Not
still
much for dancing on video.
I'm learning.
I'm too fat for all that.
right, yeah. Dances.
I'm trying. No, you're not going to find me doing that. But no, I had a great time, Kaitlyn. And I don't know if before we hang up, though, I did have another question for you. You were talking about this deer that you killed in Kansas, and that Chris taken in Kansas as well, right?
Yeah.
So you guys did that on the same trip?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to have a picture of those bruisers if you don't mind.
For sure. Yeah.
Send them over, and we'll try to share them in this for sure.
Yeah, and those were public land, so keep that in mind. I mean, my deer was, I don't know, maybe like 130, but he shot like a 180. I think it was 186 or 7. So total luck, but yeah, pretty awesome.
They didn't have ear tags?
No. No, but there was an outfitter that was like kind of close that actually had sheds from that deer, and he was over 200 inches like the year prior. So he was on the downhill. Yeah.
He gave you those sheds, right?
No, he kept
What a
Yeah.
jerk.
Yeah,
Well,
I know.
well, that's cool. So it'd be interesting to follow you, and we're certainly going to do that. And, you know, we might circle back around and hit you up after this season if you're down for it. And
For sure.
yeah, and maybe Maddie will. What's your biggest buck that you've had to date?
142.
Maddie's going to kill a 143 and stick it in your face, sister.
Hey, you know what? I hope she does.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's awesome. Hey, pan up for a minute. I've never showed my deer before. If you wouldn't, cameraman. We're going to put the cameraman to work again.
He is fired beyond fire.
This is my biggest deer up above me, but I've never. It's my biggest.
Has a nice neck.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Okay.
That's my biggest one. And then the biggest body one go that way. And these are Indiana deer. I don't, he's huge on the body, but daggone,
Oh, yeah.
if his rack matched his body size, it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've never had them scored, so I don't know what they are, but
My biggest is 135. That was a gun kill, though. I wish it was a bow kill.
it's pretty cool.
You're gonna kill a big one in Kentucky.
Oh, yes. Somebody finally gave me the luck for that.
That's your luck.
Good luck to yourself in Kentucky as well.
Thanks.
Everyone, thanks for tuning in to the Moonlight and Outdoors podcast. Kaitlyn Maus, has been a real pleasure having you on. We appreciate you coming on a bunch. I'm going to send you that video, Maddie. Check it out. Let her know what you think. And I'm sure, Maddie, you following her already on social media, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to have a little competition. Maddie's going for that 143.
Heck yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Hey,
you.
thanks for coming on. We appreciate you.